Hello again, Vinyl community. This is Matt. Just a quick update video. A few recent purchases. Nothing too exciting, I'm afraid, but you know, what are you gonna do? So, a few CDs, couple of records. Let's start off with the CDs. This is the Shaman Boss Drum. Now, it occurs to me that some people might pronounce this the Shaman. I never thought about that when I was a kid, when these guys were big. It was always the Shaman. So, that's what I'm gonna stick to, but I might be incorrect about that. By the way, I didn't know this when I bought it. This was an eBay purchase. It has a hole drilled through it, which is kind of annoying. It doesn't come out the back, but it does go through the front and also goes through the back inlay card, which is a little bit annoying, but not the end of the world. The disc itself is actually in really nice minty condition. And here's a classic, I'll call it a dance album. You know, there's some kind of techno elements to some of the songs, some house elements to some of the songs, but it's essentially a dance album. Released in 1992, and it has several big hits on it, several singles. The title track, Boss Drum, unfortunately it's not the better mix, which I think was done by the Beatmasters. The album version, although it's a decent track, it's not as good as the single release, but that's okay. We then have LSI, which stands for Love, Sex, Intelligence. I remember that being a hit back in '92, great track. Space Time, Libre Solidi Denari. I don't know what that means, but that's the name of the track. We get the Beatmasters mix of Ebenezer Good, which was a huge #1 hit in the UK in '92. Now, it was a little controversial because it was basically an excuse for the Shaman to sing "E's are good, E's are good, E's ecstasy," you know. Anyway. Next up we have Coming On. That was also released as a single. The terrific Forever People, Forever spelled P-H instead of with an F. Fat Man, Scientist, Re-Evolution, and then two bonus tracks at the end, which were just released on the CD. I don't think they're on the cassette or LP versions. Boss Dub and Forever Dub. They're just dub versions of the other two tracks. Okay, next up we have two thrift store finds. Switchfoot, The Beautiful Letdown. Christian rock band. I've actually seen them live. They performed at the Orange County Fair, probably around 10 years ago now, close to it. And the big three tracks on this are Meant to Live, This Is Your Life, and Dare You to Move. And you know what? I have to say that This Is Your Life is an absolutely fantastic track. I'd forgotten how good it was, you know. I put this on in the car on the way home from the thrift store. I was like, yeah, I'd forgotten how great this track was. It really is well written. And now that I look at it, I didn't even get this far yet, because I got home before the CD finished. But the final track on here is 24, and I remember that being a really nice song too. Next up, another Christian rock band, and that is Cutlass. Now I should you know, I should mention for those who perhaps are less familiar with Christian music, you know, it's not all kind of gospel church singing, you know. I mean, this is pretty hard rock actually, Cutlass, and this isn't as hard. It's soft rock really, but hey. But yeah, this Cutlass, I used to have this album years ago, and I've actually seen them perform live too. And best track by miles is Run, which is a really wonderful track. I do have it on a compilation album, but I saw this in geez, I don't know, Savers or Goodwill or somewhere. It was $1 or $2. Had to pick it up. It has some other good songs on it as well. Next up, we have two records, two eBay purchases. Actually, no, I take that back. Two records, one of which is an eBay purchase, one of which was a thrift store purchase. So, Gregory Short, check out his channel. He quite often goes to the pet adoption thrift store, which is in the city that we live in California. And I have been there once or twice, but I think it's quite a regular haunt for him, and not so much for me, even though I I don't know if I live closer to it than he does, but it's only about 10 minutes away from me. But he found a nice stash of records there about a week and a half ago, and he made a video about them. He had a few nice finds. There was like a Bruce Springsteen box set, Aztec Camera was another album he found, and a couple of others. But so I went in there, and of course most of the better stuff was gone, but I did find, I was really pleased with this, believe it or not. This is James Galway and Henry Mancini in the Pink. It includes the Pink Panther theme music, and it's in really, really nice condition, especially for a thrift store record. And I bought this because I used to have this exact album, well, not this exact album, but this album, when I was a kid, and I think it was identical. The cover looks identical, the back looks identical, and I was just thrilled to find this, honestly. I think it was $1, and I was like, yeah, that's, I haven't listened to it yet because I haven't cleaned it, but this is going to be very nostalgic for me. I'm very, very pleased to find. I used to love this record when I was a kid. One thing that's a little bit curious is the fact that it says digital on the bottom, which of course is a little bit of an oxymoron when we're talking about vinyl. The record will not possibly be able to reproduce the digital music or music that was recorded digitally as well as a CD could, unfortunately. But equally, there's an argument to be made that if a record is recorded on analog, then a CD or other digital media cannot do justice either. So there's something to be said for both sides. Now, finally, we have an eBay purchase, and now that I think about it, it wasn't even an eBay purchase. This was from Discogs. Sorry. Well, let me show it to you to start with. It's called the Synthesizer album. These are all, they're not originals, as far as I know. As far as I know, Project D is the name of the band or artist that recorded these. This is on the Telstar label, UK pressing. Although, I think this possibly came from Germany, but it is a UK pressing. And it's got an absolute classic synthesizer tracks from either The War, Chariots of Fire, Crockett's Theme, Oxygen, Polestar, Equinox, Autobahn, Magnetic Fields, Telstar. There's the back of the album. There's a few more on there too. The only thing that's a little bit disappointing is that this was described as being in near mint condition. I don't think so. I don't know if you guys can see that seam split very well, but you can actually see all the way through to the inside of the sleeve. That was really disappointing, especially since I had to pay excess shipping on the damn thing. It arrived at my office. I always have these delivered to work, usually, and the postal guy wouldn't let me have it until I paid like another, I think it was nearly $5. It was like $4 and some odd change, because the poster hadn't put enough shipping on it. So on the one hand, that was kind of annoying, but on the other, I was impressed that it even made it to the United States, because again, it was shipped from overseas, from Europe. So I did contact the seller, and I said, kind of bummed about the postage, but okay. I'm assuming he didn't do it deliberately, maybe. But yeah, it's really not near mint. It's really not. So he gave me €1 back, which meant I actually paid less than €1 for this plus the shipping. It's just the shipping ended up being like $10 or something in the end. But it should still play fine. The record is probably in EX condition. I wouldn't go so far as to call it near mint. The one track just had a few little light scratches on it, but it's still probably in EX condition. So anyway, I bought this because, again, some of you guys probably know that nostalgia is a big deal for me. Not just with music, but with actually a lot of my little obsessions I get into. But my mother had this on cassette when I was a kid. I'm not sure why she bought it. It's funny, when you're a kid, you don't think of your parents possibly enjoying modern releases. Yet I do remember her buying a few modern albums at the time. And you know what's really scary to think about is that she was younger then than I am now. It's really, it's best not to think about it. But yeah, so Synthesizer album, again, haven't cleaned it. I will do soon, and I look forward to playing that. So yeah, that was it. Just a few purchases. I'm trying to think what I have. I do have some CDs coming. I'm building up my Now That's Right Music collection, UK editions. I had Now 19 arrive in the post. The reason I'm not showing it is because I do intend to do a series about those albums, going through each album sort of one by one, gradually. It's probably going to take like a year to do it because there's so many of them. But so yeah, some CDs coming. They're not all Now albums. There's a few other ones in there, so I'll do a little update of those once I get them. So thanks as always for watching, guys, and until next time, bye bye.